Hello, sweet friends, and welcome to my channel, Crafting with me, Indiana Jones. I've been under the weather a little bit and have lost a slight bit of my voice, so I thought it would be fun to share some wonderful Christmas ideas for you from videos in years past. I hope you find something that'll inspire you to create something beautiful for this Christmas in July. Nothing says Christmas like toilet paper rolls, and you will believe me after this first project. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to split or cut a toilet paper roll not quite in half. One part is going to be a little longer than the other one. I also have to note that this was an inspiration from Me Cottage Crafts, and I'll have her link below. If you love anything Shabby Chic, you will really enjoy her channel. What I'm doing here now is I'm cutting up my little form, and this, believe it or not, is going to turn out to be a dress form. As you can see, I've already cut a little bit of the cleavage by just cutting a V in the front when I folded the toilet paper roll in half. And now I'm just rounding out the back so it has a nice deep back. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to cut what would be darts. If you were sewing, or if you know how to sew, you know that darts are very important to give any kind of fabric its shape. So we're using the same technique here by putting darts in the bust line and in the waistline. So here I'm cutting it at the half line and in the back and in the front. Now taking my glue gun, and let me say that the bottom part will be a skirt. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm making sure that I make darts, most especially in the back, because we want to have a nice little derriere area. So I'm also going to use another piece of toilet paper roll. It's probably cut in a quarter of the toilet paper roll, and that is what's going to glue the two parts together, the top, the bust line, and the waist, and of course then the skirt. So here I'm just gluing together what are the darts. And I have to apologize, I didn't realize that the white background with the white toilet paper roll makes it a little difficult to see, but I hope you understand what I'm doing here by gluing the darts together. And alright, once we have the feminine shape created on the top, again we have to make sure that we go all the way around, because we have to make sure that it has a nice slim waistline, not unlike mine. That is not a slim waistline. I'm chunky. I'm a chunky girl, but I'm happy, I'm healthy. That's what matters most. So once you have what is going to be considered the bra, now we have to start looking at the skirt and the waistline. Using the same technique that we did for the bust line, we are now creating a waistline. What I tried to make sure of is to create all the darts on what would be the posterior part, or the derriere part of our little skirt here. So there are very little cuts in the front. As you can see, I made two darts just to make sure that it slims it down in the waist, and there I'm just gluing everything together. Now I'm using hot glue, not very comfortable, not very easy, and you can use white glue if that's easier for you. And see, if we just put those pieces together, it would make for a very awkward looking dress form. So I'm just rolling that smaller toilet paper roll part a little smaller so that it would fit inside to the bust line and would easily connect to what is our skirt. This is such a fun way to use toilet paper rolls in a very different way, and to create very feminine shapes for dresses or dress forms. And I'm telling you, once you get this started and you realize how fun and easy this is, if you have a little girl, you are going to go nuts making these beautiful dress form ornaments. So now we're just gluing the top and the bottom together with the waistline. And what I did afterwards was decoupage them. So you can see on one I used book pages to decoupage all over the form, and other one I just used plain paper. Now here I'm using tulle to create my skirt, of course, for my dress form. So I'm just using gray and pink tulle. I didn't want it to be too pinky or too girly. I wanted a little bit of a sophisticated look. Not only that, I just happen to have silver gray tulle, so I'm going to use what I have in my stash, because I am abundantly gifted with lots of stuff. And here I'm now using satin ribbon to create the bust line, as you can see, the corset, and I'm also going to create the skirt just by rolling some of that beautiful, it's like a blush pink fabric or satin ribbon, I should say, and using it all over. what's going to be the under skirt of the doll itself, because now I'm going to add the tulle, and I'm also going to add a beautiful silver gray lace underneath as well, just to give it a little more oomph. Here I'm adding my beautiful trim, and this is just trim that again I found in my stash, and it's silver with pink. It's just the perfect color combination, and it matched that satin ribbon perfectly. That's why I went with this beautiful silver gray tulle. Now I'm just adding more trim. I've added more lace, and of course a little ribbon the same color as the ribbon I had before, and of course one more little gilded rose or sparkly rose to make my little dress complete. Now I bought these wood slices from Hobby Lobby, and they are awesome. I love these wood slices. I also thought it would be cool to get some wood slices once they started cutting down natural trees. You know how they always like shave off a little bit at the bottom? But I know that they're very sappy, so you'd have to leave them out to dry. But just imagine this with the beautiful pine scent. So here all I'm doing is using the same exact colors I've been using all day today in the folk art paints from Plaid. I love to craft forever. I really enjoy my Plaid products. And again, these are folk art paints. And I am using a very simple paint technique, which is basically dab. Dab it and dab it. Dab it, dab. That's all you do is dab and dab and dab and dab and dab and dab. And just mix the two colors. That's what gives it depth, and that's what gives it interest. That's basically it. That's all I'm doing. So this is great to watch a nice Hallmark movie while you're dabbing your paint and painting your little wood slice. And then all I'm going to do is add a beautiful little gingham ribbon. I'm sorry, gingham, black and white gingham ribbon that I received from N Beads, and there is a link down below as well as a coupon, so you can grab some beautiful N Beads embellishments for your Christmas. If you order now, you'll still get them in time for some Christmas crafts. And again, while I was painting, I also added a little bit of snow, a little bit of some red berries here and there, and that is pretty much it. Here's our little wood slice ornament for your cottagecore tree. Recently, I was approached by the Cute Bee company. That's right, Cute Bee. And they wanted me to try out creating one of their book nooks. I love book nooks. I love miniatures, but I don't have a lot of time to really devote to creating my own little miniatures by hand. So I hope you don't mind that I share this DIY book nook kit as a gift idea for Christmas. Not only that, but I was very impressed. They sent me this little books, like the bookshop or a library, and in the back there's this beautiful painting of like a Victorian Christmas. So I could imagine this would be such a perfect idea for a gift for someone who loves miniatures, but they don't have the space or the time or the money. This was a great gift idea, and you can find this little book nook on Amazon. And as you can see, the instructions are very easy and clear to read. Everything is numbered, and this is all made of wood. Yes, but the wood is already printed, so you don't have to paint, you don't have to put any stickers, you honestly don't have to do anything but pop each item out of the cut area and add it to the book nook walls. Now this was a small version, which I kind of prefer. I thought this was originally going to be a bit bigger, but to be quite honest with you, I don't have a lot of space, and this is the perfect little book nook to have on a shelf away from little kitty cats that are very curious of little things. Now I am gluing everything down, but you don't necessarily have to do that if you don't want to. If you enjoy putting together and taking apart the book nook, that's fine. But I think this is a wonderful gift idea, even for, young adults in middle school or later, like grade school students. This would be such a cool idea. Now, let me tell you, even though I think the theme is Christmas, it gave me big time Harry Potter vibes. But you know what gave me even better vibes is that little kitty cat that you saw right there, my little Luna. She, of course, is my quality control cat, watching over everything I do. If you don't believe me, there she is once again, just, sitting herself right there where it was comfortable in the middle of my workspace. But not to fear, here is that beautiful painting, that image that is so perfectly Christmas, and it would be such a perfect painting to come to life if it was part of like the Hogwarts school, maybe the Gryffindor lounge area. Wouldn't that be pretty? Oh, it's so pretty. And this also included one little light, and it is absolutely adorable. You'll see at the end. Here are all the little bookshelves. Now, it also included little books, which I'll be very honest with you, I didn't have the time to sit and make them, but they were just little pieces of paper that you folded and put together. So I will be completing that later this weekend. Since I was a little under the weather, I tried not to be sitting too long, just to, relax and really just rest myself. And again, I am so sorry that my voice is so soft right now, but I'm really trying to preserve what little voice I have. But as you can see, all I'm doing is using some white glue to put my items together. Everything is numbered. Everything is easy to follow instructions. And you can even make this into a group project. Give one wall to each different person and even the floor of the family or even friends. And each one is responsible for your own little wall for the decor and putting everything together. And once each wall is done with all the little items and details, then you can put it together. I have to tell you, I was so impressed with all the little details, not just the paintings, but look at this completed book nook. There I am turning on the little light. You can see it right there. It's easy to turn on and off. It's just with a press of a button. It's magical in a way. And look at how beautiful. This is all laser cut wood. It has a wonderful smell, and the images and everything is so well done. You will not be disappointed. Look at the little chair. It has little things everywhere, little details, and you can add your own little details if you wish, but they haven't forgotten a single thing. There's even a little reindeer there at the top. As you can see, they have records and books. It's just absolutely adorable. So if you're interested, I will have more information about this lovely book nook in the description below. And once again, I think this is a wonderful gift for a crafter, for a friend, for a child, for a parent. I think anyone who enjoys miniatures and would love to create something of their own, they would really enjoy this as a Christmas gift. Don't say I didn't warn you. This truly deserves a cuteness award. I mean, how can I miss with something so adorable that I found at the thrift store just recently? And I thought, oh my gosh, this is so perfect for, Christmas in July, shabby chic style. How can I miss? And again, I'm inspired by Teresa of Our Green Acres, who found a larger size little wooden hobby horse and did something very similar to what I am going to do right now. So there I ripped off its mane and I cleaned it with some crud cutter. And here I am just painting it up a beautiful creamy white color, which is perfect, I think, for Christmas and for any time of the year. One of the things I love about this hobby horse, and here is my collection of lace and ribbon, which I'm going to use for the mane and the tail. But one of the things I love about this hobby horse is that it's not necessarily Christmas, but oh, what sweet childlike Christmas vibes it gives you when you add this to your decor. So what I created is a mane of, I should say a tail of beautiful ribbons and laces. Now I'm using my hot glue to create kind of a crown for the mane because I didn't have anywhere where I can just glue the mane, and I didn't want you to see just the mane glued to the horse. So here I'm creating a beautiful gilded crown that is going to house all of the beautiful ribbon and laces that is going to be part of the mane. Now, I will ask for your forgiveness because I didn't get the film of me actually putting this on because I was distracted and gluing it on to the horse. or to the hobby horse. And all I did was split it in half, and there you can see that I created the cute little mane holder or crown for the ribbon and lace mane. Grab another toilet paper roll, because here comes another wonderful idea. Again, this was inspired by many other crafters, and actually I've also remember seeing my grandmother creating this way back in the day. But this is just such a cute little craft that I hope you adopt this and add it to your own shabby chic ideas for Christmas this year. So what I did here was I cut the toilet paper roll in half, and I cut an oval or an egg shape kind of shape from what's going to be the front of our ballet slipper. This is what we're creating. Once again, I'm creating darts so that I can make a closed toe for the ballet slipper toe. And I'm using a little bit of the toilet paper roll, cardboard or whatever that is, or cardstock you can use as well. And I created an oblong shape or a circle shape, and again adding darts so that I can shape it properly for the heel and the toe of my ballet slipper. I think this is the hardest part of the whole project, because once you have it all together, it's so much fun to decorate. So if you can make a whole bunch of them all at once, and then whenever you want to sit down and decorate them, you can sit down and have fun. Or create a whole bunch of these little ballet slippers for a bunch of little girls that are coming over to, you know, spend the night, and they can embellish it however they like. They can paint it, they can use paper mache. Here I'm using paper mache just to strengthen the ballet toe shoe, I guess you should call it. And also just to soften up the edges of all those darts. And you can see I have another one waiting in the wings. I didn't have a chance to finish the second one, but at least the first one is completed and it looks adorable. Now I'm just taking some of this leftover satin fabric that I have. You can use ribbon, you can use paper, however it is that you want to decorate your ballet slipper. It's completely up to you. Now, because I did do some paper mache on this, and I noticed that this satin material was very thin. Well, first of all, before I go ahead of myself, I do want to line the inside of this beautiful little satin slipper, or ballet slipper, however you want to call it, so it looks really nice. Look at that. So you can look inside the shoe and see how cute it looks. Now, because I noticed that the satin was very thin, I decided to paint over the paper, the book paper that I used to paper mache. Again, you can use white paper or white tissue paper so that you don't have that issue. Now, what I did here was I just rolled the satin fabric right around the entire shoe, and I made sure to create the point and the heel. And then after I had completed that, that's when I'm going to cut open what's going to be the top of the shoe so you can see where the little foot would go. But I thought this was an easier way to do it instead of, I don't know, just, I tried other ways and it was just so much easier just to cut off the top and create the little hole for your foot, or for the little foot. Now I'm adding lace embellishments. So I'm telling you, if you have leftover lace, you are going to really enjoy making these tiny cute little slippers. And again, this is very sugar plum fairy, so if you have a nutcracker theme for your Christmas tree and you don't know how to make these ballet slippers, believe me, this is going to look absolutely gorgeous on your nutcracker tree, on any tree for example. And especially if you can make them in red or green or use pastel colors like I'm using here, I think it's just adorable. And here I'm adding more. This is just adding lace and ribbons and flowers and pearls, and you just go nuts with this, ladies, and have fun with it. And at the very least, always add a little pin or some glitter or pearls, and just to give it a final touch at the very end for this beautiful little ballet slipper. So I hope you try this for yourselves, and if you do, please let me know how you did it, how you decorated it. I'm going to go ahead and use one of these spools to create a Christmas decoration. Now it can also become a Christmas ornament if I'd like to. So what I did first was I covered the top and the bottom with some paper that I had lying around the house, and then again using some scrap ribbon. I'm not going to try to use too much of the new stuff because I want to just economize in this day and age. Use the scraps that you have. Don't throw them out. No, find a way of using what you already have, because times are tough for some people out there. So I want to inspire you to use what you have and make beautiful things. And here all I'm doing is adding trim. So all you have to do is add some ribbon, cover the spool, add trim. You can even add like rope or twine or yarn, ribbons, laces, whatever you want to. It depends on your decor. I am trying to do this in a shabby chic kind of look. So obviously there's going to be lace and pearls and pretty light colored ribbons. I am going to do some shabby chic Christmas looks during Christmas time that are not necessarily just pastel colors, because I don't think you should be just, relegated to one pattern or palette of colors. But here I'm adding these beautiful pearls. But I think what's most important about shabby chic is that you do reuse materials and just make the best use of what you have. Again, here I have a little Christmas tree left over from last year, and I decided to, first I added a little bit of that glitter paint from Mod Podge, and then after I've added some of those like snow look or the flock look, I'm adding these beautiful pearls. This is a collection of pearls that I have in a jar, from everything from old jewelry to Dollar Tree pearls, everything. And here I'm just adding a little bow just to add a little more decoration, and voila, there you have it. I think I love this little stand with my little tiny Christmas tree. I think it's perfect for any mantelpiece or to make it into a Christmas decoration. If you like shabby chic, I'm sure this has happened to you. You walk into an antique store and you see one of these vintage Victorian stockings for Christmas and wonder, ooh, that would be so adorable to have in my own decor. But then you look at the price and you're shocked. So you go online and try to buy a pattern, but once again, you see the price and you stay a little shocked. So I decided to create my own pattern and offer it to you for free for a vintage Victorian shabby chic stocking for your home decor. And there is a stocking cut out, and all I did was use two 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper and stick them together or tape them together. Now I'm going to use this beautiful peacock blue color, and it's just some satin that I happen to have in my stash. As you can see, I'm just using a very simple stitch to go all around. Now I will tell you, I did create an inner lining for this, but I cut off, and you're going to think it's strange, I cut off what is the toe and the heel, but you'll understand after this next step. So here I am just using a very simple stitch, making sure that there aren't any puckers or gathers as I go around the heel of this shoe. The heel is the most difficult part. I'll tell you, it is really hard. And you have to make sure in the areas that go around that you cut little divots, I don't know what else to call it, darts, so that when you turn it inside out, it keeps the beautiful shape that you have created and that you have sewn. So now in the toe and the heel of this boot, I am including, or I am stuffing it with some cotton balls. That's all you really need. You don't need to buy any kind of fancy stuffing, just a few little cotton balls just to give it some shape. And as you can see, there is the lining sitting right beside my boot. So all I did is I used the same pattern and I cut off the boot, heel and toe, and there you can see that I've already included the boot inner lining so that it doesn't go into the cotton balls. You understand what I'm saying, right? Like it's a sock within a sock, I guess. So here all I'm doing is the embellishing. This is the most fun. Once you have your stocking done, just sit there, have a nice cup of tea or cocoa, or I don't know, I guess it's too hot because it's Christmas in July. So I don't know, have a cold hot chocolate shake. You can have a hot chocolate shake. It's delicious, actually. A little bit, of hot chocolate, and then, you add some ice cream to it and a little bit of cinnamon. It's delicious. Anyway, let's go on and continue adding this beautiful crystal fringe that, again, was part of my stash. And I'm going to continue making it. I don't know why. I felt like a very Frenchy kind of color scheme with this blue and the faded gold, and now I'm going to add some gold trim. So just have fun with all the trim you have around the house. Just start gathering all your lace, all your trims, all your ribbons, and have fun with this. And again, you can create this in whichever color or style that you want. This would be beautiful as well if it's red satin or green satin or even black. Can you imagine black and gold and pink? It would be beautiful. And here I am creating, now somehow it looks a little bit like a cowboy boot. I don't know, I think I made a mistake there, but I don't care. I think it looks cute anyway. So I continued with that same shape and added some pearls as well. Now here I am adding this trim that happens to have like interlocking pearls and ribbon. And I thought it would be perfect to create lacing up the front of the boot. I mean, after all, it's a Victorian boot, it has to have lacing. And I didn't want to have to, you know, create the holes and get the grommets out and all that stuff. So I'm using this beautiful trim as my lacing. My lacing? I guess it's lacing. My eyelets. My eyelets. Eyelets? Eye holes? I don't know what it's called. You know what I'm talking about. And I was having a bit of a difficult time until I decided to stuff my boot with one of those rolls of mesh ribbon, and that's what helped me to get the ribboning or the lacing all the way up my boot. And I fell in love with this so much. So again, you can create all different colors. You can create it in different colors can you imagine giving this to your friends, to your girlfriends? What fun. Or if you have like a Christmas wedding coming up, giving this to your friends, and you know, as like, and have like, I don't know, little liquor bottles and stuff in there for the bridal shower. I think that would be so much fun. So here I am just lacing up and making a bow at the top of my boot. I had so much fun with this, guys. Can you tell? I just kept saying, okay, am I adding too much? That's my biggest problem. You know, with Shabby Chic, it's like, is it ever too much? Maybe. Sometimes, I don't know, because you know, you don't want to make it tacky. So here I'm adding a little bit of a lacy flower to the front of my boot. I thought that was perfect. And then at the top of my boot, I thought it needed some more decor. I wasn't just going to plop that pin right there and leave it be. So I decided to create a bit of a flourish with the same fabric as the boot itself. And there you see, it's, I don't know, I thought it made it look very French with this for some reason, very ooh la la. So here I have my little fabric flower that I'm going to attach to the cuff of my boot. And then of course, using some Totally Dazzling, because it's totally dazzling. It's totally dazzled, actually. And yes, now is the time, people, if you're going to get ready for a Shabby Chic Christmas, check out Totally Dazzled and be totally dazzling for Christmas this year. And there you have it, my beautiful vintage Victorian boot, just for you. So let's put it all together. Now again, picking up with just items that I have around the house, just scraps. I took this shabby scrap, I want to call it a shabby scrap, and all it is burlap that was really frayed on the edge. And I said, oh, I have to use this for something. And I decided, well, this might make a cute candy cane. I don't know, you'll be the judge at the end, because it's like I don't know, it's a frilly candy cane. But I just love when, you know, the burlap frays at the edges like this. And again, if you love Shabby Chic, that is so shabby and chic. So all I'm doing is wrapping the frayed burlap around the candy cane that, again, I just had in my stash. And then I decided to add some embellishments, because what's Shabby Chic without embellishment? Now you may be wondering, is that all I do, Shabby Chic? Well, yeah, pretty much. I like it I do it, but I love enjoying other aesthetics as well, like cottagecore and dark academia. And you'll see more of that now in the fall. So now I took up the rest of that book page that I had done the accordion folds on. And yeah, I decided to make an embellishment with that. It's so perfect for shabby chic. That's what I love about shabby chic, is that you can really use just about anything you have around the house. So here I'm just attaching some more embellishments, some more fringe, and I love this, like, I don't know, it's just this wonderful lacy ribbon fringe. And of course, I have to add a beautiful pink satin bow to make this little candy cane complete. But we're not done yet, because what's a little you know, glitz and glamour. So here we have a pin that I have from Totally Dazzled, just to make it totally dazzled and complete. And there you have it. Now let's take a look at everything I made today. I found this wonderful sham in a thrift flip road trip, and I thought I was going to share this last week or in the last video, but I decided to save it for this project. So as you can see, I am creating a pillow sham stocking, and I think this is going to be the perfect shabby chic stocking for Christmas, don't you? I mean, look at the colors. It is absolutely perfect. So I've just created I drew out a very basic stocking pattern. This is such an easy project. Now, because it only had one side, the other side was kind of ripped, the other side of the pillow sham, I used some burlap fabric that I had, and it was just very soft burlap fabric. And it's almost like a muslin fabric, but a little stiffer, just to keep the weight of the stocking. And I've put the correct sides together, which would be the outside, and I am sewing with a 1/4 inch, I guess a 1/4 inch allotment. I forgot the name of it. You know what I mean? It's not an allotment. It's not like it's a property, but you know what I mean. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. But there's little Kuru. And she's wondering, what is Mama doing today? She has a machine. She's very curious, and every so often my string would fall to the floor. And there you have it. And can you see how absolutely perfect this is for a shabby chic Christmas? I think there should be a Hallmark movie called Shabby Chic Christmas, and if there isn't, I guess I should write it. So now I'm using the edges of that pillow sham, and I'm going to create the cuff of the stocking. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm talking really slow. But anyway, I'm creating the cuff of the stocking, which is easy enough to do. I cut it down to size, and I'm going to be sewing it on. Now, very important with this project is to remember to sew, pin things together first before you start sewing. So I have turned it inside out once again. I'm going to sew on the edges there, just to make sure, and I was just making sure that the way I was pinning it together, it was going to turn out to be a nice cuff for my stocking. And as you see, it will turn out just perfect. Now, don't worry, the rest of those leftovers of this sham I will be using in other projects, so stay tuned. And if this is your first time here, I would really like it if you can subscribe and come back for more. And if you enjoyed this and I've inspired you or I've taught you something new, well, please go ahead and like and share. So here I am finishing up that cuff. Now, I left this very simple. If you know me, you know me. I like to embellish things a lot. It's shabby chic. I wanted to add lace, but my friend Jane, hey Jane, if you're watching, thank you for watching. She came over, saw it, and she thought it was just lovely as it was. She was mad that I broke up the sham, but it was only one sham, and it was a shame. It was a shameful sham to be alone. Not that, it's shameful to be alone ever, but I thought it would be so much more beautiful and celebrated as a stocking. I love it. Look at I'm so happy. Happy dance around my stocking. Beautiful shabby chic stocking. And all I'm doing here is adding a little loop so that I can hang it up when Christmas time is here. So I hope if you look at thrift stores and find a sham, don't leave it alone. Bring it home and make a stocking out of it. Now I found these little frames at the Dollar Tree, and usually they use these frames for weddings to put place cards, and I'm just taking it apart and I'm just going to use it for our craft today. It's black and it's perfect because I wanted it to have the black background, but they have it in gold and they have it in white. Once again, painting it with that beautiful basil color from our basil. No, basil is the name of a person, but basil is the herb that this looks like. And now I'm doing a little bit of whitewash on top of it as well, just to give it again some dimension, some highlighting. And I love the way the color is turning out. It's absolutely perfect for my cottagecore look. And now all I'm going to do is embellish this little frame, and it's so simple and easy. Now you can put a picture in the frame if you like. I liked having this like open frame kind of look. It's very country, very cottagecore, so I thought this was perfect for my little Christmas tree as well. And last but not least, we're going to add a few pine cones to finish this off perfectly. Now to tie it in all together with the other decorations that I already made, of course we're going to add some black and white gingham, because I really do like the black and white gingham. It's so cute. And again, perfect to tie this to your Christmas tree. And there you have it. It also makes a beautiful tag for any kind of gift. Although I have a stash of fabric that would put anyone to shame, especially me, I just took advantage of some pillowcases that I had that were unpaired pillowcases, and this was one of them. And I love the embroidery on the cuff of this pillowcase, and I thought it would be perfect for a stocking. A very nice, navy blue stocking. And navy blue is very popular this year for Christmas decor, from what I understand. And there's little Kudu. She's holding down the pattern and the fabric, making sure that I cut it just perfectly, just right. It is so much fun to craft with my little kitties. And as you can see, they're very, very involved. To thank my little Kudu, of course I had to, well, first of all I had to take pictures because she was looking so adorable, and give her some cuddles, some little kitty cuddles. So after this break we're going to continue, and once again I'm going to use that pattern that I used before and just stitch out the outside of my stocking, again making sure that I try to make sure that I have a tight stitch so that it doesn't fall apart. Now this fabric was a bit light, so I did create a muslin or a burlap inside or interior or lining for this stocking, so that it would be a little stiffer and that it could hold whatever items I would put into the stocking. Now, I don't know about you, but I continue with the stocking tradition here in my home. Even though both of my boys are big and grown, I still include lots of fun stuff in their stockings, whether it be candy or any kind of auto stuff that they can use for their car, any kind of fun stuff that I can find. I make sure to include it in their stocking, and they always look forward to their stocking, especially at the end of the day when they think they have nothing else left to open. They run straight to their stocking and find what else I have included there. So here I am, just including the cuff as I did before, turning the stocking inside out once it was done, and I am just stitching up the cuff, and there you have it. And you can see right there the burlap interior of my stocking, or the burlap, I guess, lining. Yes, the burlap lining. So now I put the burlap lining inside, and look how beautiful is that. It looks something so custom. It looks very, high end, and something that you would probably find in the stores. Before I put this cute little thing away, what is it called, little sign? Before I put that away for Halloween, I said, I love the shape of it. Let me use it for Christmas as well. And originally I was going to use it on that red and white striped paper, but I didn't like the way the white of the, of the uniform was like see-through. These window clings that you get at the Dollar Tree, that's what I'm using, these window clings. So what I decided to do is just paint over the white area with white paint so it's opaque. now instead of using the red and white stripes, it's like, I got some green, got some green paint. Let me just use the green paint again because I wanted it all to be like, matchy kind of things. Yeah, matchy. So here I'm just painting it all. I used two, I think I used two. Doesn't look like I did. Oh, you know why? Because I kind of like striped it with some of that gold color just to make it look vintagey. I wanted it to look vintage. So this is what I'm doing on the edges is like, I'm just dry brushing it so that it has that vintage worn out look. And then I'm going to take a paper towel and just brush it down so it's not so, so stark, so it doesn't look like, oh, I just painted it now. No, this was painted a while back and it just faded out. So that's what I'm doing here. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know. Sometimes, like I said, Annie, don't do voiceovers at night. You're tired. You're a little wacky. But a little wacky goes a long way in my channel. I see it that way anyway. So I hope this is entertaining and I hope I'm not confusing you as I go over and over the edges again. Now, as you can see, there's sticker residue in the middle, but I don't care because I'm going to cover it. So now that the white paint has dried on my little decal here or on my window cling, I'm going to cover it all in Mod Podge and just place it on my little panel. And this is going to serve as a look. I think it looks great. What do you think? I think it looks very vintagey and I think it's perfect, especially if you have a large tree and you need larger ornaments for the bottom of the tree. Here you go. It's easy as pie. Now I'm just adding some cute little embellishments of some holly leaves and berries and a little poinsettia of these. I actually got these at Hobby Lobby when they're on sale, 60% off this past weekend. So I hope you can create this for your own beautiful Christmas tree. But wait, there's more. I have my extreme glitter from Folk Art and it's, Christmas time, so why not? And it's not going to get any glitter in my eyes. So I decided to add this beautiful glitter embellishment to all the white areas, the furry white areas of the Santa Claus. I think it'll look so, so cute. And then I was like, let's just glitter everything. Let's just glitter everything. Just do it. So this is what I am accomplishing here. And I think it's going to look really cute when it's all dry because it just has that little tiny bit of sparkle. It's not too much glitter, but just enough to remind you it's Christmas time. So I hope you try this out for yourselves and save some money by the double usage of a little Halloween sign. Here I'm using one of those mason jars from Dollar Tree. Actually, it's one of those salt and pepper shakers from Dollar Tree. Well, this is such an easy. This is an indie quickie. That's right, it's an indie quickie. Let's name it what it is. And all I'm doing is I'm gluing the little holes and putting some of that wax paper into the little holes so that the snow doesn't come out of it. I fill the bottom with some glue. And that's it. I'm going to put one of those little trees that you can get either at the Dollar Tree or at Hobby Lobby. Now just fill the bottom with some of that Dollar Tree fake snow and you are done. And a few more embellishments and it'll be perfect for any Christmas tree. And there's a kitten again. Now I forgot to say you have to double up when you cut out your pattern. So of course you have two sides to your burlap stocking. And here all I am doing is sewing both sides together. And I made sure to leave at the top the 2 inches open because we're going to flip those over and sew them on the other side. So with burlap fabric, it's I don't know which side is the right side, but usually you sew the right sides together so the seams are in the inside. And here I am finishing off the top. And again, as I mentioned before, now, oh no, this is not the top, this is the heel. So I'm very careful at turning the heel to make sure that I don't get any wrinkles in my burlap. Next, I wanted to create another cottagecore inspired stocking. And for this one, I'm going to use some burlap from burlapfabric.com for all your burlap needs. Yes. And all I'm doing is using one of those little cutting boards that you get at the Dollar Tree and cutting it down to fit into the stocking because I'm going to use some stamping techniques and I don't want the paint to bleed to the other side of the stocking. I'm using that wonderful folk art color and it's like an evergreen color. It's absolutely perfect. And I get these from Plaid. I love to craft forever. And I am a Plaid ambassador, so they are very generous with their products. And I'm using IOD Crockery stamps that I received from a dear friend of mine, Jackie. And I love these stamps. I've used them all throughout the year, and it just made sense to use it now for my cottage core stocking. And as you can see, it's very easy to do. I'm just painting on the paint to the stamp, or using that little plate and just stamping them on, just making sure that I do it nice and even. And it's as easy as that. You can add as many crockery stamps as you want, or you can also embellish it with some stencils. Now I would continue stamping until I filled up my whole stocking. You can do however you'd like. You can also use stencils or anything else you want if you want to create your own stencils. But I really love the look of this burlap with all of these crockery stamps all over it. And then once I was done with this, now I have to work on the cuff. And what I did was I turned it inside out and I sewed it so that the edges, as you can see, you can't see the edges on the sides. Now I'm going to embellish it with this perfect fringe that I had in my stash. And it is the absolute exact color of the sweater. Can you believe it? I know, incredible. And this time I'm just using some plastic that was actually around the roll of this trim, and I'm putting it under the cuff so that I can just glue it on. I can sew it on, but at that point I was tired. It's very hard to sew sideways. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but it's hard to sew sideways. So I decided to just glue it on to the edge and create my little embellishment for my crockery stamp cottage core stocking. I think it came out great, and I hope you try this at home. It's so much fun, and it is a very different look if you haven't had this before in the cottage core in your own Christmas decor. There it is. Now for the horses, I took them outside and I took off their manes and their tails, and I spray painted them all in a chalky antique white. It's not perfectly white, but an antique white kind of finish, and it worked very well on these plastic horses. Now I'm using some moldable air dry clay, and this is the Model Magic clay. I use the Model Magic clay because it's a little spongier and it's easier to form even once it's dried. And all I'm doing is making my little saddles for my little horses, as you can see. And I like the idea of making the saddles, but it needed a little embellishment. So using that crockery stamps, yeah, you heard me right, crockery stamps from IOD, I stamped the edges of my saddles so they would have a nice little design, and it worked perfectly. And again, this is the Crayola Model Magic. It's a little more spongy than their air dry clay, which is perfect because it won't crack, and it's very pliable even after it dries. Now I'm making some more embellishments for the front of the horsey. This one got stuck. I think I forgot to put in the cornstarch, and yeah, this came out really nice. Like I said, this is a moldable clay. I don't know if you call it clay. It's a spongy, I don't know. It's cool. I like it, but you can get it everywhere, and it's fun for the kids too. So here I'm just going to form it around the neck of my horse. Stay up, horse. Oh my goodness. And there you can see where I'm going to put, it's like, it's going to be, you'll see, it's going to come out really cute, but it's like their reins. So there you have it. That's how I'm going to add all these embellishments to my little horsies. And here you can see all the little saddles that I made for my horsies. Using my plaid family of products, of course, I am now painting using all their acrylic paints. So I think this is Folk Art or Apple Barrel, but I love the colors that they have, and it's perfect to paint all of my embellishments for my little horsey. Next, I needed to create a new tail and mane, of course. So I'm using this beautiful, colorful twine that I got at the Dollar Tree. And I thought, what a beautiful color combination. It's a very light green and a pinkish red, actually. And so here I am. All I'm doing is gathering up all the twine to make a tail. Yes, I think I started with the tail. And, you know, it's so much fun to make these horses. If you have a chance to do this, and if you have a little girl especially, oh my gosh, I think they would go nuts. So I used some wax paper and put down some glue first so it would be easy to glue all of these strands together. Yes, I realize that I'm showing you my horsey's butt, but I have to so that I can glue its new little tail. Look how cute it looks. I love it with this twine, and it's just so cute and perfectly Christmassy. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the mane, of course, smaller. It's not going to be as long as the tail. And here I am just gathering the twine once again. And same process, I had glued it down onto the wax paper and created an easy way to add the mane right to where the initial mane was, and it just looks perfect. Next, I'm going to use these rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree. I thought it was perfect to add some embellishments to my horsey without having to paint them or draw them myself. So all it is a rub-on transfer, place it, and rub it on. And now let's see if I messed it up. Here's the reveal. Wow, look how cool. Cool little horsey. I love it. It's coming out great. After I did the rub-on transfer, I decided to use some gold leaf and add some more embellishments to my saddle. Now using my Sure Bonder glue gun, I just used the tip and I made the perfect size hole for my dowel, and the dowels are from the Dollar Tree. It was the perfect way to do it. I didn't crack the horse or damage it in any way, and as I said, made the perfect size for my dowel. And I did it both to the top and to the bottom. Make sure you do this before you put on any other embellishments. And there you have it, my little carousel horse. And of course, I had already made holes for the saddle, so it was very easy to just attach it once my, carousel pole was on. And there you have it. Once you have the saddle fitting correctly, all I would do is secure it with hot glue or E6000 or Gorilla Glue and continue adding embellishments. Here I added some beautiful metal roses that I received from BB Craft. BB Craft has many wonderful crafting supplies, and there you can see how lovely the roses look with my carousel horse. Thank you once again for stopping by and visiting my channel, and if you're new, I really hope that you come back for more. If you like what you see, well, please take a moment and subscribe so that you are part of the Christmas magic this year. As I always say, stay safe, be kind, God bless each and every one of you, and remember to live the adventure. I'll see you again soon.